The highly coveted secrets to becoming a real life Jedi Master. I have always aimed to create the one refuge in the world where there exists nothing but pure truth. No nonsense, no BS, no silliness, no jargon, no prescriptions, no tips. Just the truth. Only for the serious. George Lucas is no doubt a seeker. It cannot be otherwise. He took the beautiful ancient secret of prana from Indian mythology and gloriously splashed it across the silver screen as the force. Prana, you see, is the life force. In the Orient, they call it chi. Pranayama is believed to be exercises in breathing. This is yet another example, like the modernization of yoga in the West, of sacred truths that have been commercialized and bastardized even within the very countries in which they originated. Pranayama has really nothing to do with breathing, in the same way that yoga is not really about asanas. Pranayama is the voluntary internalization of the life force which exists all around us. The force is called prana. By the way, should you do it? No. Because anything that you do because of a should is complete and utter waste of time. The same goes for meditation. And if you are doing it for your health, you will get the same benefit as eating half-eaten apple. And it's a lot easier to eat apple. Let us examine with the truths to becoming a bona fide Jedi Master. For starters, shall we leave telekinesis out of it for now? I have been asked a number of times if I have learned to move objects with my mind. I have also been asked about the quickest way to read people's mind. I've also been asked about the quickest way to read people's minds and how to instantly switch off involuntary thought and even how to levitate. I haven't quite figured out levitation yet, but there is an ancient Tibetan practice of running on air from the days of Milarepa that I have been examining for quite some time now. There's something you should know, and it's enormously telling about the relationship between the Jedi of Star Wars and the way in which legendary masters were trained in the ancient East. For instance, do you know what they used to say about the warrior monk of the Shaolin Temple of Hunan province, China? A Shaolin monk is a master of himself. He walks through walls. He can be seen, but he cannot be touched. When he walks, he cannot be heard. Sound familiar? You see, my friend, the Jedi Master didn't just exist in Star Wars. They were, and they are, a real and true thing. In fact, I have consultancy, a Siddha performance, in which I train select hand-picked world-class professional athletes and reveal to them the secrets of the ancient trainings. Why is it so rare for someone to become a Jedi? The reason it is so rare is because of the culture of your industry, the culture of your family, the culture of the society, and most importantly, the culture that exists inside your mind. You want brutal honesty? The brutal honesty is this. Almost every adult human being on this planet is incurably doomed. Why? Because they have taken such a beating from the culture of their own industry that they will simply never be the same. The lies and the propaganda that have been played like a running loop in their mind have penetrated so deep that it has quite literally changed the anatomic arrangements of their neural network. My friend, almost no one recovers from such a beating. Almost no one comes back from such a purgatory. The reason that I say almost is because there are always exceptions. And those glorious exceptions are the princes of mankind. Those glorious exceptions are ready to receive the truth. Those glorious exceptions have the qualification to become a living, breathing Jedi. And for the ones who have been incurably brainwashed by their culture, be it the professional golf culture, the business culture, the self help culture, the spirituality culture, the meditation culture, the performing arts culture, the mindfulness culture, or any of the toxic cultures that the dim and common men have created. This will be nothing more than an entertainment. The remainder of this discourse is, quite frankly, exclusively for those glorious exceptions of mankind. A Jedi is a master of himself. What does this mean? This means that he controls the universe around him. You heard it as you read it. The Jedi has learned to control the universe around him. The things that may affect others do not affect him. The rules that apply to others do not apply to him. For some incredible reason, the very way that nature looks at him is different than the way it looks at everyone else. The Jedi has broken through a new sphere of existence. He has cracked the code. And he lives within the cocoon of New Earth, whilst walking on the ground with mere mortals who would scarce understand the possibilities that exist for a human being. Unspeakable ones. If I revealed the mystical powers of the Jedi, if I sat down and told you the freakish capabilities he has achieved, I would send your mind into a tailspin. I'll go a bit easier on you and reveal to you some that are equally powerful, but perhaps more graspable. 1. A Jedi has graduated to such a level that emotions can no longer ensnare him. Emotions are available to him, but they cannot so much as lay a finger on him without his consent. 2. As a result, he has become permanently cured of all the anxieties that torment mere mortals on an almost hourly basis. 3. He is able to give to his family and anyone who comes to see him precisely what they need, when they need it. He knows what to say, how much to give, when to shelter and comfort, when to set loose. And he knows this because he has attained that most elusive of superhuman qualities, clarity. 4. All of his actions stem from wisdom. They are bathed in wisdom. They are sheathed in wisdom. It is not that he practices it or attempts to do the right thing. The wisdom simply surfaces at the right time, without him having to do anything at all. 5. He has gone through a secret training that the ancients were banned from ever speaking about to the uninitiated, and he himself has been sworn to secrecy. For there are some revelations which, when given to one who is unprepared, become very dangerous to one's constitution. 6. All conflicts have disappeared. When other humans come to fight or to argue with him, the minute they come within 5 yards of him, their ill will suddenly vanishes. It is as if there is an invisible shield around him that protects him wherever he goes. How does this happen? Very well. I'll reveal something to you. Shh. All conflict is self-conflict. 7. His career and his success are in the palm of his hand. Because he no longer has interference, his destiny is now in his own hands. Not theoretically or philosophically, but as a present day reality. 8. While his fellow human beings suffer the unending torment of getting in their own way, he sails towards the horizons of his very own choosing. Why? because he has learned the secret of making his mind retreat when he needs it to retreat, and come forward when he needs it for his own personal use. 9. The mind is the ultimate slave master of a man, and this JEDI has been led by the hand, inch by inch, compartment by compartment, through the mind's inner machinery. He has been taught its location, its hiding places, and its inner workings. He has been trained to see when it's coming and how to avoid its assaults. As a result of this training, the mind now sits by his side as somewhat spherical pulsating ball of fire that he can employ at moment's notice to satisfy even his most fantastical wishes. 10. Number 10 is teetering on the limits which divide this world from the one that you haven't yet seen. The ancients did this quite regularly, and I'll confess to you in this moment that this is one of the ethereal and mystical powers that has served me in my quest for truth, and which has allowed me to share insights with select others. It is a force to which I am eternally grateful, for not in 1,000 years could I have known the albeit small number of magical insights that have the power of transforming a man's life condition into one that he has never before known. It is this power that leads me to say that it is not I who does what I do. It does not come from me. Rather, it happens through me. What is this power? I'll say it once and allow it to hang in the air. When I want to know something, when I need an insight, I do not read a book or analyze it with my intellect. I rarely read a book anymore. And the only reason that I would occasionally read one is for the inspiration to reach further into the deepest corridors of my mind. And as for intellect, I realize that you have always been taught that it is your greatest weapon. I realize that it is a deep source of pride for societal men. And I realize that men have no choice but to rely upon it. The reason that they have no choice but to rely upon it is because they have not discovered the glorious power which puts the intellect to shame. It has been available to me for the whole of my life, and I am not the only one. What is this mysterious power? To simply download the knowledge that you seek from the universe around you, like downloading part of a hard disk onto a flash drive. Man has learned to walk, but there are a few men, most of whom you have not in flesh and blood met, who have secretly learned to fly. They say that all men are created equal. Is this true? Perhaps in theory. But so many are the men or women who set off on that one journey to claim the frankly magical capabilities that were set aside for them. That statement has very little practical value. I will close with the following truths. For those who tell you that there are no secrets, they have either not discovered them or they seek to keep you oblivious to them. If you seek the truth, and I mean the truth about how to become a JEDI master, if you seek the truth about cures rather than treatments, if you seek the truth about navigating your life to a horizon of precisely your own choosing, if you seek the truth about anything and everything that you feel is foundational to your existence and intimately near and dear to your heart, you won't find them in any of the traditional places. I won't try to convince you of this. I will allow the statement to stand on its own. Are all such things available to you? Yes, but they do come at a price, the greatest of which is visceral sincerity, the unshakable desire to know. And let me tell you this, psychologists, coaches, psychotherapists, motivational speakers, preachers, Parents, friends, and priests will trip over themselves to help you. But no master worth his salt will give a man the time of day unless he personally sees the fireball of sincerity in his eyes. When he sees the one who is dying to know, he will bring him into his coveted space, a small and private corner of the world, and make him privy to the secrets that are man's birthright, but few ever set out to claim. I bow down to Master Yoda for reserving his wisdom for the genuine and the sincere.